Hey, what's up? What's up? Good evening, guys.
Hey, hi.
Good evening, guys. Okay, Eric.
Evening.
Yeah, Eric, he went to make some quick coffee, so we take maybe a couple of minutes, and then he should be back. So for tonight, right, Mr. P, we got the special guest as not so
Yep.
usual, but we try to. We got
hmm
Tim over here, Tim who
Super
Hi.
special
he
guest over there. Yep.
yeah.
Hello,
So
everybody. I'm
you
Tim.
may
Yeah,
you may have seen him on some of the Mr. P's video,
yeah.
quite a few of my video. He was in there also featuring and lecturing, taught us a lot about Li Auto before. So I'm pretty sure many of you have seen him. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
yeah.
actually, previously I was working 6 years for Mercedes, and then a few years for NIO before I went to Li Auto. So NIO and Li Auto, I worked there. Well, I worked all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I
You
recently
got a
just
lot of info for us.
sorry.
That's nice. You got a lot of info for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So just to make it clear, currently, do you still work at either of those companies? Just to
No, not anymore.
okay. So
Okay.
you are free to express your opinion. All right.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but being in a large corporation before, I'm sure that you did sign something. Even though you're
Yeah,
not with them, you cannot disclose. So we try to be mindful for that
Yeah.
one too. I don't want any lawsuit over here. Yeah? I mean, I know we are
yeah.
small
Exactly.
You
channel.
have
Exactly.
some
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So
confidential
yeah, we
stuff
try to be
that
mindful.
I
All right,
cannot
cool.
say.
Eric is back. So hope that everyone who joined our show hear us okay. The sound, I can hear Team Mr. P and pretty much Eric. You can start with the usual intro. We can test the sound as well.
Okay, hang on. My mom's making coffee now. Okay. Does it sound okay?
It's okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, so welcome back, everybody. Blue Sky Coming, unofficial NIO podcast. It's me, Eric, Mr. P, and TIO TiNG, and today we have a very special guest, Tim. So, yeah, Tim, why don't we start with Tim? Introduce us who you are and where you come from and what you're doing here on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
So
I
he actually introduced us.
He already
He did.
did.
He did
Well, I
while
wasn't.
waiting.
I
It's
wasn't
okay.
here. I wasn't here. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So
No, it's all
catch me
good.
up on what I missed. Sorry, you guys go for it.
Yeah. All right. We got some something. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Stick. Welcome back to the show.
Hello,
Welcome.
Stig.
Welcome.
Hello, Stig.
Yeah, we got Tim here. So I mean, as you may already know, he did introduce himself, right? He was with Mercedes before NIO, and recently with Li Auto, and he's also a car enthusiast. So pretty much he himself. I mean, you may let us know what car you drive, which one you own now.
yeah, that's a good question. Actually, before I was a die-hard Mercedes fan, right? And ever since I worked in NIO, and I became a NIO fan because I just love the idea. Like not only I'm a car enthusiast, but I live in China. I'm Chinese, right? And I know all the auto culture and history for domestic car history ever since I was young. So NIO, it's the one brand that I think I waited for so long. Before it was a lot of I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of copycat early stage cars, right? But when NIO came in, that one thing I like the most is the original design, the right path to be a premium brand. I so agree with that, and plus the new like power swap stuff, it's amazing. And after NIO, I went for Li Auto because Li Auto NIO are like basically Li Auto, NIO, and X-Phone was the top three back then, right? And it's quite different, but it's really really awesome. And I drove uh, I on the first month of Li Auto L9 delivery, I bought a Li Auto L9, and I love it. I enjoyed it every single day. But since it's really big, right, and then it was really comfortable. My dad just took it. He said, "Hey, I wanna because he's retired, right? So he wanna go on long journeys, road trips, and he just took it. And there's always something back in my mind that I should buy, because I love the NIO, and I have so many friends at NIO. I always knew that if I get a chance, I'm definitely gonna buy a NIO, right? And then with this ET5 came out, right? And I still waited some time to get the Touring. So I have an L9, Li Auto L9, and I have a golden ET5 Touring. So that's the two cars I'm driving, and I plan to keep them for very long period of time. Yeah.
That's great. But you did have some of the gasoline car before too, right? Like before you switched over to
Before that, first of I lived in Canada for 10 years actually.
Oh, okay.
So when I first came back, I bought a Mini Cooper R55 Clubman S, actually the 1.6 turbo version. And then our family, we have a Mercedes-Benz GLC 43. So I sold Mini because the quality it was a disaster. It was a disaster. I spent so much money on fixing the Mini because it's burning oil and leaks everywhere. So I actually wanted to cure. It's mentally I need something that more reliable. So right. So I bought a Lexus IS 300, the 2017 model year, but I bought it in 2018. And I sold Mini. I bought a Lexus IS 300. And then by the time of 2022, I think it was September, I sold my Lexus, right? And I bought a brand new Li Auto L9.
L9.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Because
my ET5 Touring, I bought it last July 19th. So I had it almost a year now, and I drove for 34,000 kilometers already.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a heavy user.
That's cool. So you did apply for the gasoline. The gasoline plate was moved from Lexus to the Li Auto then.
To the Li Auto, and I rent another electric plate for my ET5 Touring.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
Wow.
See, folks, that's how you have more than one car in China. You need
rent
to
a license plate.
Yeah, you need to rent
Yeah, you have to pay for the license plate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Quite good good info on the introduction, and also we get to know what car that Tim drives, right? And I'm sure Mr. P and Eric got a lot of questions. At least I clear a few sets of mine.
Well, I do have one question that I might have missed it when I was making my coffee. Did Tim already give us a rundown of what his job, what his positions were in Li Auto and NIO and all that?
Not the specific position. Let me do
Yeah,
this now.
can you tell us about your experience with NIO and with Li Auto, what your role was?
All right. So I worked in NIO for product communication, and it was kind of the early stage before the ES8 official launch. So I actually witnessed, they went on NASDAQ, went public on NASDAQ, and also the delivery of ES8. And then I left in when the first ES6 came out, right after first ES6 came out. And then I went to Li Auto, and since the 2021 model year, Li Xiang won, and then was the reason the Mega and the L6 launched. And at the two companies, I was doing product communication. So I'm the guy to sort out, you always get a product paper, right? On how each parts and the product feature and stuff like that. At Mercedes before, right? We got the English version from headquarters, right? And I was the guy to translate into Chinese. Then we spread out to medias. But at NIO and Li Auto, since we're the headquarter, right? So for each new product, I actually talked to all the division, right? From the people who plant the product and to the people like different department like design, studio, and electric drive or powertrain or like safety and stuff. All the departments, I speak to them, all of them, and I record it and I sort words together. That becomes your product sheet. That's what I do for my job, and also like I do some sort of overseas communication at NIO or at Li Auto. Yeah. So that's
Fantastic.
what I'm doing for past few years. Yes.
Wow.
Can I just say, Tim, actually, you do more than just some sort of overseas communication. You were like our point man for Li Auto for I think all three of us. I'm sure you were very, very, communicative with all of us, helping make sure we get a car and making sure we have a really good experience with our Li Auto when we did get to test it out. So I really appreciate all that you did with Li Auto when you were there. So,
thank you so much for all of
your
that.
support. Yeah.
Same
Really,
here. Same here.
Yeah.
I can speak from the bottom of my heart. I think actually you guys are all NIO fans, right? So I can speak a little bit more on that. Working for Li Auto for the past 3 years, even I left, right? I really love the company. It has the good culture. It's why I can buy the Li Auto vehicle from the first month is because that people in there knows exactly what they're doing and they knows what's good, what's bad, and they designed actually the perfect car. So I really believe them. Also with NIO. NIO is a fantastic car, but the two different company are totally different. We were just talking about with TiNG and Mr.P before the broadcast started that it's more like a early stage Mercedes-Benz and BMW. If you're a diehard Mercedes fan, right, you always fight with BMW fans. So it's more like that. But since I work both places and know both company are super awesome and each of them is very unique in their own way, so I really enjoy to explain to you all about Li Auto's product for NIO fans and see how you feel about them, because I know NIO already. So yeah, that was something I really enjoyed doing as well. Yeah.
Cool.
And we did enjoy hearing things from you, get info from you. I can feel the energy each time when I sat there and then you were presenting all the features, and I'm sure Eric agree, Mr. P agree, right? Like you can feel like Tim is the man. When I need to get something, if it's Li Auto, you are like my first line, hotline,
Thank you so much.
Tim was great. I know I'm an idiot, so I would always have so many questions when I have a Li Auto because there's so much new stuff. Like I remember learning how to do the hand gestures from Tim. He's like sending me videos. Right? He's sending me videos. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, trying to control this thing. But no, it was great. It was really great.
Yeah, thanks. It's good for me because I like grabbing stuff. So it's like it's quite straightforward.
So Tim, you just mentioned the company culture a little bit. Can you tell us anything about the difference in company culture with Li Auto and NIO? Is that possible?
Exactly. I can do that. I can do that.
Perfect.
I love to do that.
Perfect.
Actually, when I was working for NIO always make you so super excited because William has this brilliant business plans, right? And I think he's quite everybody is really buying that concept, and they're making awesome cars. Like I think NIO vehicle and NIO owner, NIO vehicle and NIO ownership experience is just as romantic as his business ideas and stuff, right? It's amazing. So when I was working for NIO, it's like open your eyes, everything for something new, right? And when we encounter some problems or difficulties, like when you hear Li Hong or William speak out to you and to like, they almost like give you face. So that culture, I think till today has never changed. If you guys ever heard their speech, public speeches, right? In terms of the product side, NIO is really fancy. If you open the door to see the interior of a NIO car, any NIO car, I have to say, they have the best design, right? Exterior design, also interior design, also the material that they use. That's the top reason I always wanted to buy a NIO, because it looks so good. Yeah, and I actually feel so proud of driving one. And also like all those awesome ideas like NIO House and stuff, right? And also like the NIO community. It's something you don't find in any other brand at all. All right, so that's the story for NIO. At Li Auto, it's quite different. It's very different actually. Li Xiang, like the founder of a company, he was the founder of Auto Home, right? So the first auto website in China, like, because the cars engineering family in China, not for so many years after 2000, the year 2000, when we joined the WTO, right? You see massive cars, like the cars become way more cheaper than before, right? And people can afford it and they can buy cars. Ever from that time, and Li Xiang, he started the Auto Home, right? And then he is the man who built the Chinese car culture. I can say that. A lot of my colleague was the founding member of Auto Home, and then they moved to Li Auto, right? So there were car enthusiasts all the way, ever since there's a car culture in China. So people are really professional in, like, when we build cars, right? They know what's good, what's bad, and they can think, they can think rationally. And a lot of people at Li Auto being quite, not so, like, when we build a product, right? We can hear a lot of, like, when we evaluate the product, the Li Auto, you will see a lot of rational opinions about vehicles. We don't just close doors and hey, we built the best product. No, they use Auto Home or 懂车帝 standard to rating the car. So and Li Xiang himself, I'd say he's very accurate. He's very, very rational, and he's super smart. All right. So, which means he has a very good business logic and also financial logic. So he know exactly how the product will suit the customer, right? And he's a huge fan of Steve Jobs, right? So at Li Auto, when we build a car, right, it's very simple. They don't use a lot of fancy stuff. No, like a lot of fancy material, right? But when you sit in a Li Auto's vehicle, you feel everything is just for your needs, right? And you feel it's super comfortable, but the cost is not too much. So he drawn a perfect line between the cost and also the premiumness. So I'd say Li Auto, like Li Xiang, is more rational, and William has great business sense, and he is very romantic, so as NIO cars. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah,
that's great.
And a little more about Li Auto's vehicle, like I can tell, because you all drive Li Auto's vehicle, right? Before, yeah. So we're like they say when you build product at Li Auto, two things are very important. One is being simple. So I always tell people like I always tell the story at Li Auto. If you design something like a new feature, right? If you go to Li Xiang himself for evaluation, if it took him longer than 10 seconds to figure out how it used, just carry your laptop and then redo it, because he's gonna get so pissed. Because in Li Auto, there's a saying that we don't want to build anything that is too complicated for the customer to figure out. Everything has to be at the right place, like without thinking at all. Okay, that's one thing. And the second thing is focus. It's focus. So building a great car at Li Auto is not what's like. There's 4 of us in the broadcast. Each of us want different stuff. Putting them all in one car would be the simplest solution, but that's not how you build a good car. So how do you differentiate with the good car and the bad car? The good car and bad car differentiate by what feature you give up in order to having a new, like having everything you have to give up so many. So that the ability to give up the complicated, not useful stuff is the ability to make good cars. So I think you can already tell, like Li Auto is on the rational side, but and almost too rational, because people are complaining about Li Auto 2021 model year being too conservative in terms of the design, right? Even like design for Li Xiang L9 L series. People like it, or people have second thought on the design. But NIO, when the NIO came out, everybody just immediately loved it. So yeah, that's
I think like simple rational design is really good for mass market, right? Because you look at, not to get too into it, but like Mega, which is a little bit more out there, right? And it's a little bit more difficult to sell. So
something about Mega. I never said this before, but I think even though like the market for Mega is still climbing up, but based on the product, I can say we were really, really proud of Mega. So first of all, we have the guts to make a design like that to happen. That's something different. Like if in a German brand, right, they were gonna get killed for the very first round for such an iconic shape like that, because it's too risky. You know, people always used to get so used to the stuff that they are so used to, right? They're not used to the newer stuff. So that's why you hear a lot of noise for Mega. Some people don't like it. At the first, we already know it's gonna be, if you look at it, you can tell it's like 2 ways. If you can feel like super ugly, or I can even look at it, or super pretty. I love it. But there's one thing about Mega: the design is following the Mega design is following the car design philosophy. So it's not random design, like make it like everywhere. No, it's not. It's still like the best proportion for a vehicle, right? So for Mega, let's just say, you have to remember, like 20, like the Li Xiang 1 was a huge success, because Li Auto, we sold over 200,000 units just for Li Xiang 1. And then for L series, no need to mention, it's a huge success, right? For Mega, at the beginning, Li Xiang walked to the room and he said, this time we need something completely different. Because the thing is, the traditional MPV with the boxy shape, right? That's a lot of resistance, right? But it's a petrol car, so nobody cares. You just pump in more gas, right? And for electric car, like if it's still boxy shape, too much resistance, like it's like the power consumption, the electricity consumption is too big. You cannot adding a bigger battery. It adds weight, and you don't solve the original problem, which is the power consumption. So you're doing that by designing the car as sleek as possible. Electric car allowing you to do that, because when you design the car as sleek as possible, you don't like there's still enough room inside. So that was the original idea of Mega. So we need a low CD value, like a low electricity consumption vehicle. That's the first thing that we care. And the second thing is it has to be as big as possible in the interior. So making the car exterior size big, it's one thing. That's why you see all the American cars are really big, but not that big in the interior size. So actually, the interior size is squeezed out. We squeezed very last inch of the interior space. So to sum up, in terms of the design, in terms of the engineering, in terms of the everything else, I think for us, for people at Li Auto, Mega is flawless. It's really flawless. So there's a we really believed in Mega, and we really think in 20 or 30 years when you look back at Mega, it's more like you look at the Volkswagen Beetle today or Porsche 911. It's going to be very iconic. Yeah.
So I have a question to follow up. So what part of Li Auto Mega's predicament do you think has to do with infrastructure? Because for you have both the Li Auto L9 and ET5T. ET5T can do battery swap, solves range anxiety. Li Auto L9 can use gasoline, EREV, solves range anxiety. But of course, with the Li Auto Mega, it has none of that. So from your opinion as a customer, as an owner of both vehicles, how do you measure this? What's your opinion on that?
Okay, so quite honestly speaking, I'm not a new I drive electric cars now for almost a year, and before I was working with NIO. I always tell people this: people who has range anxiety is people who never drive electric cars. You know, when you drive electric cars, you have less range anxiety. You know, like when I drive Li Auto L9, it's a range extended vehicle, right? But I use electricity all the time. I always charge it instead of pulling gas into it. So from that time, it's only half EV. I don't have range anxiety. Not to speaking of Mega or my ET5 Touring. Charging, it's not so hard. When you use the charging pole, it's not even so hard, right? When you charge it, you go to the bathroom in the rest area. When you come back, it's more enough to hit maybe 200 or 300 kilometers already. So I never had that. And power swap, I never thought power swap it's a way to fill in electricity. No, I think people should really look further. That's awesome because your battery can swap, because that's the fast lane on battery repair, right? Battery upgrade. When the battery density goes up, you drive the same car maybe for 10 years or even more than 10 years, and you can still upgrade. That's awesome. That's awesome. Personally, I don't need swap that much. I can always charge. I'm so cheap. I don't have the free swap, and I don't even have force reswap per month. So each time I have to pay. So if I do swap, I have always to pay the service fee, right? So I just choose to charge with every time there's a swap station, I always using the site to. It's maybe 10 or 20 quite cheaper. I'm not in a rush for that, but sometimes if I'm really urgently need to go somewhere, I will use the power swap. But my point is, the power swap. I think the more importance for power swap, it's for after sale purpose, and also you buy a car literally for people like you guys who bought ES6, which the car has a high concentration of aluminum hybrid. It's very hard to get rust, right? And the electric motor, it's cheaper, and it has a long lifespan. And now your battery can upgrade. Basically, you can drive the car for like a unlimited time. You know what I'm saying, right? So that's what really fascinating for me. And for Li Auto, like the charging station for Mega, like Mega still can charge at the regular station, right? But 5C is just faster. Personally, I think I wouldn't. It's not for me. I can only speak for myself. It will not be a barrier for me to buy Li Auto vehicle right now. I believe, maybe for Mercedes or BMW or Audi, they have definitely fewer stations than any of Li Xiang, Xiaopeng, or NIO, right? And people still buying them. Well, fewer people still buying them. I don't think there's a barrier or anything. It's just different philosophies, I think. But none of this, it's stopping customer buying these vehicles. That's my point of view. Yeah.
So you talked about how design plays a very important role in purchase decision. And you once told me face to face that you saw one of the earliest design of the ET7s that nobody else saw, and you said that was so beautiful, and you said that was a car that you wished everybody could see, and even me, I'm like, oh man, I want to see that car as well. In your opinion, like a lot of people think that NIO overspends on R&D, making research and design and all this kind of stuff. And what's your opinion on this? Is NIO spending too much money on R&D, or is it like the correct amount?
Let's just say this, okay? Continue the story that I told you before. Right before I left for NIO, and I once went to the lab, right? I saw the most amazing concept car. Like the headlight is totally different. In the front and the rear is totally different from the production ready ET7 today. It was breathtaking. But there's a guy and also a friend walked by, and he was like, hey, see, that's the future ET7. But sadly, we don't have money to make it. But that was by 2019. So the NIO was in a rough time. Dude, I love that design. Seriously. But that was the story, right? But to answer your question, I think William did the super right thing of investing a lot of money, spend a lot of capital in R&D, design, right? And also R&D. You see a lot of you see a wall of certificate of each technology, right? For NIO, right? So I think that's a great way, and they spend a lot of money on R&D. But I don't think people are complaining about R&D itself, the money spent on R&D itself. I think people are complaining about the R&D efficiency, the money spent efficiency. You know what I'm saying, right? If you spend $100 on R&D and you can make 3 technologies, it's different. You spend $100 and you make only 1 new technology. That's the efficiency, right? It's different. And so that was that. And also, like let me go a little bit more. And people always complain about, hey, Li Auto, why don't you spend so much money on R&D and stuff like that, right? There's a myth of people saying Li Auto didn't spend enough money on R&D. Actually, let's just say Li Xiang, I think he's a really smart guy. And I can always, even I'm not with him, so I can basically say pretty much everything. The efficiency, R&D efficiency is super high. Yeah. So that's my opinion. It could be wrong, but that's what I feel at Li Auto. We, in closed doors, we have seen a lot of tech, or even the tech you see today from some other company just unveiled it, right, as a concept. I can tell you, I saw that years back. But Li Auto, we don't show people anything that is not production ready. That's the thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Wow. So, quick follow-up question. So, right now, NIO is putting a lot of their future into Envo, their sub-brand, and they're launching their own brand, individual brand, the Envo brand. What's your opinion on this? Should they have just done it under their own NIO brand, or what's your opinion?
So I'm gonna speak quite frankly, as my point of view, since I own a NIO for about a year, and based on my opinion on this, let's just say I had a few minor quality issue about my ET5, but it's all minor. It's just the noise, right? The cabin noise, or like the tire, the thing, the inner part, the inner bench to absorb the vibration, it just fell off. And so whenever I go 100 kilometers per hour above, the car shakes because the wheel, the balance just, it's just effed up. You know what I'm saying, right? So, and it took them so many times to figure out. So that's as the premium brand of NIO. And also I'm ex-NIOer, and also I know cars, so I'm okay with it. I don't complain a lot about it. That's basically what a premium customer is like. When you sell the car in a 300,000 RMB range or above, it's a matured customer came in and they complained relatively less. But if you're selling a vehicle in a more affordable vehicle, or the entry level vehicle, or mass product, massively produced vehicle, I'd say I get the quality up. It has to be up. It's like, that's the one thing. It will kill them. It will kill them entirely if they didn't get it right. They need to watch the quality, and also after sales quality. I can be quite frankly, I was really frustrated about the quality. Like, I mean, I have a neutral heart. I was like, hey, things happen, right? They can, like, it's not a big issue. It's not, hey, I cannot drive my car. No, it's not. It's just noise. It drives me crazy. But I was like, I bought my car. I was like, hey, this is day one. At some point, I can fix all the problem. I will just live happily ever after, right? And the car will become better and better and better. And that was my original opinion. But since the service efficiency, everybody was being so nice at me, but it took them so many times to fix a simple problem. So I'm a little, how do I say? I'm a little sad on that. So my opinion about Envo, the quality has to go up. Also, like, the after sale service has to go up. Yeah. So, and I can say this. I know a lot of NIO fan will hate me so much for that. I'd say I own my L9 for almost it's 2 years almost, and every time I send in the shop, not within one day, like the first I got my car, there's some noise issue as well. They always help you to find where the noise came from, and they cure it. After like not even 1 day, and they return your vehicle. The efficiency, it's unbelievable. And I'm about to say this. I think NIO should really learn from Li Auto's after sales in terms of the efficiency and in terms of the quality. That's one thing I think Li Auto get really right about. And so I think, to answer your question to the point, quality after sales, and if the price is it's as low as we expected, I think Unload will really have a way to breach in. It's gonna be successful, I think. Yeah.
Nice. So speaking of efficiency, one thing that I noticed is that during like holidays, during like whether it's like May 1st holiday or October National Day, there always seems to be a drop in deliveries for NIO, but not so much for Li Auto. It's always
I can tell you this. Yeah, I can tell you this. Don't get me wrong. I love NIO and I love Li Auto, and the opinion I spread out today, I wish they can learn from it. It can get better. You know, the thing I love Li Auto the most is how efficient people are. The culture, it's like you say Li Xiang, he is a very strict guy. He has super high standard. But people at Li Auto are really down to earth, and they know what they're doing. There's a culture, there's an engineering culture at Li Auto. Problem will never pass overnight. So when we launch when we launch a new vehicle, like it's still on testing, right? If there's anything goes wrong with the car, or like we report a problem or anything, like I learned something. I know it's so bad. Even I find a problem, I don't want to code in like by maybe 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. because you just know that people will not sleep. They will get back to you within 2 or 3 hours. There's no problem past midnight. That's Li Auto's model, and like that's the work culture in Li Auto. It's hard on the employee and my coworker, but the ownership experience in terms of the after sales, it's super awesome. Like I sent my car in a few times. One is the Li Auto's L9, the rubber seal, right? Sometimes it make a noise. It's more like I think you know how rubber making the noise, right? So I have to replace that, and there's something at the back seat of the back of my seat. They're making noise like that, and every time I send in, when you send in, you expecting like a walk around check, right? By that time, they have already finished everything, and they already to see they already start their diagnose already. And let me share you this thing. I hope maybe someone at NIO will hear this. Every time I send a car to NIO service, the worst time is what I send in the car for NIO service. It's very early in the morning, probably 8 a.m. in the morning, because I go to work very early at Li Auto. So I asked them to pick up like a 7, sometimes even 6. And they said in 8 a.m. in the morning. They haven't checked in, do the walk around until the next day. I was so pissed. I was like, what are you doing? Like, dude, come on. Like, and people are being really friendly and NIO service. Every time like they talk so nicely to me, and I feel so guilty of being mad at them. And then he's like, hey, come to the station and you will understand. And I came to the Shunyi service station, right? I feel really bad for the guy. And I fully understand. let me put an example, right? For Shunyi service station, let's say you have like what, maybe 40 capacity for to fix 40 cars today. In every day they send in maybe 300 vehicles. So in the service shop, everybody was yelling. Everybody was yelling, "Hey, could you please make up room for me? And I need to fix this car." Just car moving around and make room for them to on the shelf. I'd say I never see anybody fix a car for more than 10 minutes, but that day and that time. So I know NIO has the ability to fix a car, and they have the efficiency, they have the tech, because a lot of stuff is as Li Auto is in-house development, right? So they can fix the car. I have 100% faith in it. They can fix the car. They can got the quality right, but due to, I have to say, I'm sorry, the poor management, and I think not only I was suffering, and I think people at service station also like suffering, because they know how to do things right. They just don't have time for it. So that's a very honest opinion for NIO service. Yeah.
Wow, poor management. Wow.
I'd say poor management, but I see a lot of super talented NIO people. They like some of them, within one look they know what the problem is, but it's just they're really refreshed. Like they have a lot of pressure. Like every time even I call them, it's like, "Hey, dude, I have a lot of car in front of me," so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, that's great that you shared your honest opinion. So one more follow-up question from me. So you worked in product communication, which is almost like marketing. One of the things that we all complain about is that NIO's communication with battery swap perhaps isn't there yet, or just isn't there. What do you think that NIO could perhaps do better in this front? Your opinion, of course.
You know, there's an interesting saying I want to share with you. You know Weibo, right?
Yeah.
There's a saying in public, because I'm not with any of them, so I can say this. So they say, right, Li Xiang has like internet addiction, right? He cannot get his eyes off the phone on Weibo. He spend all the time on Weibo and stuff. And they say NIO William doesn't use Weibo quite often. William only use NIO app. And what they say about Xiaopeng is in Xiaopeng's village, there's no internet. So I'd say, I think Li Xiang, he is super smart and he's super amazing. He knows how Weibo, he has good taste on Weibo. He knows how it works and it functions, right? It's more like when you convince, hey, like if you watch a Mercedes or BMW is quite good. If you watch a Mercedes or all these commercials, it's like, hey, dude, that was like ages back. People are still watching this? No way. People are not watching this. I think the problem is very few of them use like the social media. So back to your point, if I offer some opinion for you, is that they need to have someone who's really understand Weibo or Douyin, or like I know like NIO is really it's the king on broadcasting, right? So because they hire so many good-looking fellow, yeah, and to do the broadcasting, and they are the king of broadcasting. But in Weibo and other platform, I think they need to hire someone who really understand how the platform works. Yeah, so to improve the quality of that. Yeah, I'd say right now it's social media. From a fair point of view, Li Auto is way ahead of their communication in terms of social media. It's because people knows how to play on Weibo. If you watch Li Xiang or other KOLs and how they interact with the KOL, it's textbook. Yeah.
So I have a question kind of relates to that. Since you work for both companies and you probably have this information, what are the demographics of the customer bases like? Because I don't know, maybe Li Xiang a little bit cheaper. I don't know, maybe L6 or L7, they're more like a young family car. They're more on social media, whereas like, I don't know, a 500,000 R&B car maybe for like a, I don't know, executive or something perhaps.
Okay, so I can say this, and I just understand your question. First of all, I think in terms of the price, NIO is a little bit more expensive. But Li Xiang is also a premium car, so I think I'd say NIO is more like Mercedes, and Li Xiang is more like BMW. So Li Xiang definitely a premium car. You see a lot of customer who's like super rich, who has like Rolls Royce and Ferrari and stuff, and they bought Li Auto and they just drop any other cars. Same story as NIO. So I don't ever think there's a difference between Li Auto and NIO in terms of customer, but I'd say at very early stage, like when at the Li Auto age, right? NIO customer is more willingly to speak out, right? So they're being very open-minded, or the E person, the I person, right? I think they're
introvert, extrovert, yeah.
Yeah, it's more E person. Like everybody, if you put a room like with the Li Auto person and the NIO person in two separate rooms, you definitely like the NIO room is definitely more noisier, because I think Li Xiang customer, like they enjoy themselves so much and they just sometimes keep it to themselves. Yeah, and I think NIO users are more socially open. You know what I'm saying, right? So that's the thing, and also, and so the first point, I think they're financially they're the same class. They're in the same class, same social class. So I think for me, I think there used to be ex Mercedes or BMW customer, premium German brands customer, who already achieved this freedom of the brand. You know what I'm saying, right? They're not bounded by the premium brand. They have so many of them. They have so many cars, Mercedes, BMW, Audi. And once they want to move ahead, move up, right? So they're looking for something like even higher than the name, like the true premium experience. They definitely choose Li Auto or NIO. So that it's the same. But what makes people apart? Some people buy NIO, some people buy Li Auto. It's just like Mercedes and BMW, right? Mercedes is comfortable, BMW is fun to drive, like things like that. So for me, I know both cars. I enjoy, like, for my dad, it's my dad cannot even sit in my ET5, and he sit in my car and he complains that that's wrong, that's so complicated. Hey, why do I adjust mirror? I have to touch the screen stuff, right? Or how do I adjust my steering wheel? Why it's going back? Hey, why I cannot use gesture and stuff like that? But I also see people sitting in the Li Auto say, hey, this is not as premium as NIO. So it attracts different customers. But for me, I think, first of all, they're in the same class. All right. It's just apple pear. They choose different fruit. And like I said, NIO is more fancy. It looks fancy. Interior is fancy. Looks really premium. But when you sit in the Li Auto, the beauty of when you sit in the Li Auto, it's not, you don't feel extra premiumness like Rolls Royce or Mercedes Benz S Class. No, it's like sitting in your bedroom.
Yeah,
it's all relaxed and comfortable, and that's it. But you don't find any wood trim, no wood trim at all. Like I love the NIO wood trim thing that looks really premium, but you don't find that in Li Auto's vehicle. But everything is just your bedroom. You just so relaxed and comfortable. So it's different. Yeah.
So I've got a question, a different topic kind of, but I'm looking at our comments here, and I see one of our users, NIO users in Europe, he's having some issues with service with NIO in Europe, and I just want to get your general opinion. Chinese brands in Europe or outside China, in general, like Li Auto hasn't really made that move yet. They're not planning to, correct? At least not in the coming year or two. And NIO's struggling. I think other brands are struggling. What's your take on that?
In terms of what?
Chinese brands in general making the move outside of China.
I think I really want them to go personally. Not only because I was doing product communication, like foreign product communication, because I think the Chinese market, you can see every vehicle right now, right? So I think it's almost fulfilled. So we need a bigger like. I think people need to take more opinion on the foreign users to further elevate the product, to make the product even better. That's for sure. And I know entering Europe is hard, entering America is hard, but I really hope like NIO or the unveiled or the Firefly stuff will enter European market. But for Li Auto, I was really hoping Li Auto it's perfect for North American market.
Oh yeah.
Right? Long range, big car, and not so expensive, but feels really expensive. So what's even better on that? So, well, I think it's still a young company and takes time, but I think eventually it will go out. But no plan just yet. But personally, I wish they can go out. Yeah.
But I guess my question more is, do you think that Chinese brands will be able to achieve success in these developed markets like Europe and North America?
For Europe, it's hard because European people, like they have a definition of a premium. It's different with the Chinese people, right? I can tell you why, because for my understanding, right, although I live in North America for 10 years, but my perception of European premiumness is like, Rolls Royce, wood trims, stuff like that, right? I tell you, hey, you see in my Rolls Royce, no, I'm just like making it up, right? If I have a Rolls Royce, I can show you, hey, dude, this wood trim only grows on that tray, on that hill, right? Which makes it very expensive. This is really hard to acquire such trim. So everything, like for the material value, goes up. So they use very expensive wood, very expensive leather, and very expensive craftsmanship to build a car. So I think for generations, that's how they perceive premium. And they're super loyal to their brand, right? Chinese car, it's very different. Because I think Chinese car, I think in China, the material parts, it's cheaper. It's easy to get. Trees, leathers, and stuff. It's really, if you look at the BOM cost, which is, like the cost, it's really cheap. So Chinese brands are not driven by, like Chinese premiumness is not driven by the cost of the trim. It's actually like driven by the overall premiumness. When you sit in a NIO, especially when you sit in a ET7, you just feel the premiumness. But when you look at the trim itself, you can't say this wood is better than Rolls-Royce wood or even Mercedes, right?
Mhm.
Or so it's all about how you put everything together, make a harmony. You know what I'm saying, right? So it's like orchestra. So one instrument is not important. The whole thing that makes a difference. It's even more true with Li Auto. So Li Auto is not about super expensive parts. It's the very high quality parts with the affordable price, and they put in the right place, right, and with the right design. That's overall, that's the overall premiumness. So to answer to your question, Eric, my point is, for number one, people have different definition about premiumness of the car in Europe and in China. And secondly, people are super brand loyal in Europe than in China, because BYD would be very successful in Europe because it's cheaper, right? But if you're selling a premium car, people has different opinion about premium car. So I put a question mark on it. I think if Unveiled and the NIO will sell in Europe same time, Unveiled will be so much better in terms of performance than NIO, because I don't know if people recognize that premiumness. And for Li Auto, like, there's no such plan overseas plan, but you can tell the car is so big for European market, right? So, and people like smaller cars, people like more performance, more road field cars in Europe. So I think they have the ability to make it or tailor a car for European market, but right now Li Auto has no such plan of doing so. So that's my opinion.
No, I agree. I think down market is going to be a lot easier entering Europe and North America eventually than luxury, for sure.
Yes.
But I remember I told you, I think, or maybe in one of my reviews of Li Auto, that I thought the Li Auto was perfect for United States of America because it's so big, so comfortable, and it's a hybrid. You can use oil, you can use gas. Like, it's perfect for us here. But
it's perfect. And also, for speaking for that term, like I know a lot of NIO fans are really criticizing on being a range extended vehicle. I think I spoke with you all about the concept is that in NIO, like we used to say, like we're still saying it, blue sky coming, right? For Li Auto, I think they're even making more difference by doing that. People don't understand, hey, you guys are making half petrol cars. How can you say you're green? Let me just put it this way. So Li Auto gave range extended vehicle, gave a lot of customer who previously has range anxiety or who's scared to death of electric cars. They gave them an option of buying range extended cars. And they saw they have range anxiety, but when they drive a Li Auto and they feel like, hey, I drive with electric all day long. And now they realize electric cars are not monster, and they actually enjoy the quietness of driving in electric. And they use electric even my dad. I was at my dad's today, and he just told me he asked me, hey, when the petrol, how long will the petrol expire? Because he pumped in the gas last December. So the thing is, it's a different approach. So that's why Li Auto sold a lot of cars in China, because people will have the ability to choose in shorter range, city commute, day to day, in pure electric. But if you go long ranges, you can choose petrol and stuff. But that's about the power thing. Yeah.
So I've got one quick follow-up about this. Do you believe that ERVs are like a bridge product, like a temporary product, and it's going to move to fully electric in the future, Li Auto included? or do you think it's a long-term product vision?
That's a perfect question. I think EREV and also EV will coexist for a limited time. Because, dude, like think it this way. Now it's like for Li Auto is a 1.5 turbo, like a gasoline generator, right? It will evolve, right? It's not gonna stick there forever. It will like maybe, I don't know, like imaginarily it will have some clean fuel and stuff. So my point is, as long as people are buying electric cars, there's always gonna be some late adopter who has severe range anxiety. You know what I'm saying, right? So having EREV and the electric car at the same time, that will satisfy everybody's needs. So they will coexist for a very long period of time. Yeah.
Cool. So I don't know if you guys have any more questions for Tim. We're at an hour right now. I don't have any, but I know we also have some comments and questions from the users. You guys want to answer any or ask any more questions first?
I'll just go with one quick question. So about the global expansion, global success, NIO said that they're going to expand to about 25 countries by 2025. What's your opinion on this? Do you think they're going a little bit too fast, or should they hone in on the Chinese domestic market first? Of course, just your opinion.
I'd say this. Last year, some of the Hi-Fi went bankrupt, right?
Yeah.
And some other Chinese NEV brand went bankrupt. I feel really sad. Although I don't quite agree with Hi-Fi's product, right? Sorry, I don't quite agree.
Right. I don't either, but it's all right.
But I think if the market is a little bit bigger, they will have a better chance. And I think it's such a waste of the financial capital and also like all the like infrastructure and stuff. So I always wanted the Chinese brand or the new Chinese brand, or every Chinese brand has a bigger ground to play with. You know what I'm saying, right? So I think satisfy the Chinese customer is one thing in China, focus on China. Personally, I think now is the time that all the Chinese NEVs need a bigger playground, or because, dude, like I saw a lot of comments right now, but for the people who's outside of China, don't be scared, okay? We are the lab rats. We already been tested. Like how many NIO sold in China already? And not to mention Li Auto, almost like it's more than 800,000 unit, and so it's not a freshly squeezed juice. It's already been. So you can be like it can be more reliable. So don't scared of Chinese cars. And yeah, I think they should open up the market. They should open like you said, Mr. P, like 25 countries, right? I'm always hoping like he can go more than that. But one thing, it's very important. Like I said before, after sales. So I think after sales should go like first, then the product, not the product, then after sales. And they have to train everybody in there like efficiently before they bring the product in. That's very important. That's huge. That's huge in terms of the brand image. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. And I just saw I saw a lot of comments of
yeah, you may need to discuss some of them. I mean, it's usual. It's
I
usual.
saw the people commenting on Mega's design, stuff like that.
It's usual. But by the way, how many times you swapped the battery already on your ET5T?
I think within I think it's more than 10, less than 20. And I have one thing I need to speak out about battery swap. It's awesome, right? The first generation I love the most. It's great. And the second generation swap station is great. The third generation, I don't know. And I just heard from TiNG about the fourth generation. The thing I have to complain about the third generation is I don't want to sit in the car when the battery being swapped, because it's making a noise. It's quite scary. It's like, your neighbor like downstairs is doing a renovation on the rooftop. So
It warns you before, man.
scary.
How warns you before? It will be loud
Sorry?
noise. The car shaking.
It's
It will be loud
like
noise.
some
Don't be
spring,
alarmed.
and they release it down, and I want to get out, and I just can watch peacefully outside.
Soon is coming.
Yeah, I heard from TiNG also.
Check my live stream. I did the swap with me outside the car. There's no problem. You can do that. There's a workaround.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So I think the power swap, it's like I said, I don't, because I think maybe Mr. P or maybe you guys have the free power swap. So free power swap is worth it. Power swap, it's a little expensive for me. So every time I just save the service fee. Yeah. So I never complain anything about charging speed. I don't think any of the vehicle. Last time I had a BMW i4 M50i. That car, it's the only car I felt so slow in charging. I was like, hey, if this is like Li Auto, even the EREV, it's already done, like maybe 2 times already. NIO, same, already done. I was like waited there for so long. I was like, dude, I never know charging takes so long. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have a problem with charging. Yeah.
So one quick thing, I noticed that Li Auto actually started having like almost like Li Auto houses, like those big stores, almost like a NIO house.
Mhm.
So a lot of people have been saying that NIO houses have been a waste of money, building these big fancy showrooms with resting areas and sometimes free coffee, just a waste of money. But Li Auto is also doing it. I wonder what your opinion is of this whole entire matter. Is it a waste of money, or is it like a brilliant marketing, brilliant perks?
I'm so glad you asked me this question. I have so much opinion towards this. NIO house, let me put it in short. NIO house, great. I love it. I love it. Dude, have you ever been to the Solana NIO house?
Yeah.
Next door, there's a Volkswagen house, and there's a BMW shopping center store, right? And there's Xpeng. Let's just compare with Volkswagen. I always tell my friend, dude, look at the NIO house, and then look at Volkswagen's house, dude. When can this traditional manufacturer understand? Put in a dealer in the shopping center is not direct sell. Dude, it's just poor taste. It doesn't change anything. Like, people still don't get in the Volkswagen. I feel so sad. Like, they got everything wrong, I think. Lighting and stuff. NIO has the best taste. Only a NIO, I feel sometimes really proud. Even I'm also a diehard Li Auto fan. I feel really proud because I can enjoy that amount of space. And I don't have a baby, but if I have a baby, I can babysit in the NIO house. How convenient is that? Dude, let me tell you a secret. Like, I think there's enough comments on people who are outside of China. If NIO ever go to your country, let's pray that they bring the NIO house in there, because they have the cleanest bathroom, right? It has the cleanest bathroom.
They even have the bidet with the heated seat.
Oh,
it's like going to Japan.
Electric toilet.
Yes.
And let me just tell you this. If you take your business partner or friend into the NIO house, it's like, it tells a lot about your taste. I feel really proud about that. And let me give you another example about Li Auto's Well, Mr. P
Lost Mr. P.
Yeah. Let me just
Battery.
give you,
I'm sure he need to swap battery. No, sorry, the charger battery.
yeah, or maybe he cannot take my opinion. Just kidding.
No.
Yeah, about Li Auto's Li Auto's store. I think people. I know you guys are outside of China, but if you come to Li Auto store, I always explain to my friend, dude, that's what you find in Chinese New Year. It's so happy and so like definitely not as premium, not as half premium as NIO house. But in Li Auto store, it's like people is like celebrating Chinese New Year. It's so overwhelming, and people all over the places, and kids watching TV in Li Auto's vehicle, right? Li Auto has a quite different philosophy than NIO, right? William, like I said, he's really romantic, and he wanna play the community card, and it's a premium brand, and he wants to extend it a premium experience from the car to some like house, right? So that's his philosophy. But for Li Auto, like Li Xiang himself, he's super smart, and he's super focused. A car store in a shopping center, our goal is just to sell cars and to sell the cars more efficient, and like everything is driven by that goal, right? So it's a place of home. It's definitely a place like you feel warm and feel like you can have water and have everything, but not as premium as a 5-star hotel like NIO house. So, and by doing that, and you were asking why there's like a new Li Auto store just renovating to a bigger one, to watch out how many new product we will have for next year. So it needs an expansion. You know what I'm saying, right? And also, Mega is super premium. I saw a lot of you commenting on Mega and stuff. Like we were really proud of Mega, and we also receive comments globally about Mega design. It's like it's super premium, and I can share you a little. It's a little bit off topic. It was like this. You know how Volkswagen Phantom, the super flagship sedan was made, right? Because the boss said, I want this car can drive 300 kilometers, and it's super quiet and stuff like that. When the Mega design, right, Li Xiang gave us a list of impossible performance goals we have to achieve. And that vehicle fulfilled every single goal of that list. So it's a super nice vehicle. So with the Li Auto store renovated or expand or be more premiumness, I think it's more suitable for Mega and the vehicles coming after Mega, the electric vehicles coming after Mega. Yeah. So to answer your point, still I think different approach. I think NIO house is totally necessary. As a customer, I'm really benefiting from the NIO house, but I do see a lot of people in the NIO house is not the new customer. It's like me. I'm the NIO owner. Like I'm shamelessly take a lot of space and just being there and being comfortable. But NIO house, the Solana NIO house has half the customers Li Auto store. That's for sure. But I think it's totally necessary because two store has different goals. Li Auto sell cars, NIO house half selling cars, have to maintain the ownership experience of a NIO car. So I think it's both makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Cool.
Fantastic.
You been to NIO house often, Tim?
Very often. And I bring so many friends to NIO house. Like sometimes I always do a full tour. I bring them to NIO house to show them, hey, dude, I bought this car. And I show them the exclusiveness. I say, hey, scan my QR code, I can get in, right? You want to use the washroom? Check out their washroom. They have a fancy washroom. Check out, oh, they have a special drink in that NIO house. So I feel so honored to take them there. But every time I go to a Li Auto store, I try to explain them how we build the product. I know all of you are NIO fans, but I'm super proud of Li Auto product. So I give them all the consideration, the back salt of the product, why and how and what we have achieved. Yeah, so different usage. You know what I'm saying? Right?
So your friends, after you gave them the full tour of both, which one are they more inclined to buy, or which one did they buy?
I find it this very interesting. Like. Actually, most of them love both, and it's interesting. Whoever like don't get the point of NIO has really good design, I secretly judge them for have a poor taste. Seriously,
not secret anymore.
Yeah, I hope they don't watch this. But everybody I bring into Li Auto store, like for design, I can say some like them. Everybody complain about the Li Auto car too big for them, too big for him. But dude, I tell you some trick. Open the door and play movie or play music in the cabin, and use some show them how the gesture works, and give them about a tour, a lecture about the in-car, the smart cockpit. I almost had everybody I bought in Li Auto, right? That's the truth. And I can say this, NIO has some of the best designs, and more, how do I say, more understandable. Like people rarely argue, hey, that's an ugly car. Hey, that's a nice car. No, they don't argue. Everybody felt NIO is good looking, right? So that's common sense. But for Li Auto, I can say it has the best in-car system ever, dude. Even Huawei is like in the market, and Xiaomi is in the market. They were like they built cell phones and stuff. I'd say not even close to what Li Auto has in the smart cockpit. So if I put a mark on Li Auto's cars, like the smart car part, it's unlike any other. Like the smart cockpit, it's unlike any other car. Even there's a lot of copycat, more screen stuff. No, it's a whole set of thinking, dude. It's not just one thing. It's an ecosystem. The ecosystem they cannot build. And in terms of the design, I think NIO has the. You don't have to explain to, hey, here's the salt, or no. Everybody look at NIO and say, hey, that's a pretty car. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking of Huawei, real quick, Li Auto, mobile phone or no mobile phone?
Sorry?
Will there be a Li Auto phone?
I never heard of it.
Okay.
I never heard of it. Yeah.
Your opinion?
Let me just tell you this. Li Auto's goal is to be a global leading AI company in 2030, right? So tell you a story. I think I told you before already, like, your laptop, right? It has a mouse and a keyboard. So you will make PowerPoint slides with your mouse and the keyboard, right? And your smartphone, you have a camera and touch screen. You will take a picture, and then you zoom in, zoom out to edit your picture. You will never use your laptop to take pictures. You will never use your smartphone to make PowerPoint slides. The point is, it doesn't cross. It has its own ecosystem, own usage. For Li Auto, the smart cockpit, it will do the same thing. It's a separated ecosystem. When you sit in the car sees everybody in the car. They recognize your gesture. They understand what you're saying to it. So people in the first row and in the third row, like, it's an interactive screen. It's not a dead screen. It's not just a screen. It interacts with you. You can say, 理想同学, answer your question, right? You know what I'm saying, right? You can imagine there's a transparent touch screen in front of you, and you are doing this, or verbally speaking, or doing gestures with it, even though there's nothing. But it's space recognition. It's space recognition, right? So it's super smart. And Li Auto app, Li Auto in-car system is the first in-car system. They, like, people who's developing the app trying to fit in Li Auto, 理想 1 first in early ages, because the phone is full, right? So they want to move to smart car. So they started from Li Auto app. I mean Li OS. Right now, Li OS has the best ecosystem ever. Yeah, if you're an Apple user, for sure. But it's a different approach. So including Huawei, I've tried Huawei's system. I think personally speaking, I have nothing against the company, but for Huawei's car, I think it's just a pad in the car. So the voice assistant system is not half good. It's not half good as Li Auto. It's not half good as NIO. The voice recognition for Huawei, it has a lot of Huawei phone app, and that's it. I'm not a huge fan of that. Yeah.
But they've been selling pretty well, huh, Tim? They're actually like their numbers is doing good.
Yeah, I tell you a story. My dad is like a die-hard Huawei fan. I always argue with him about, like, because I'm an Apple fan. I always argue, hey, dude, this is so easy and stuff. My dad, go away, no way. And he was the Harmony OS, right? When it started to, my dad is the oldest software engineer, and he always called in to complain, to help them to improve the product with the Harmony OS, right? You can tell he's a huge Huawei fan, but he's a L9 driver, and he first sit in M9. He felt everything is wrong. Everything is wrong. I was like, dude, we're in a Huawei store. Come on, like, they're being nice to you. Can you just hide your opinion? I was almost embarrassed. You know what I'm saying, right? I almost so embarrassed. I was like, let's go. You're NIO owner. I mean, you're a L9 owner. They know that, but just don't spread out your words. There's other people looking at the cars. But to be honest, I felt the same way. When you step in a Li Auto L9 and you watch the M9, it's not even the same. It's. I think Li Auto has so much better build quality in the car part and also in the smart part. So does with NIO. NIO is so much premiumer than Huawei. But one thing, I've tried Huawei autonomous driving. It's mind-blowing. It's like an old taxi driver in China. They have like decades of driving experience in the city in China, and old driver, and they overtake, and they're so aggressive. I was like, hey,
Aggressive driver.
Yeah, it was so aggressively, but it's very smart. So
Mr. P can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, battery again. I think either the battery or the line. Like he got a call from his wife. Yeah. It happens before.
So Huawei, I think they're still burning some. Burning some old customer. You know what I'm saying, right? The old fan. So I think they have to evolve. So I'm sorry, Mr. P, about what I said before. I think it made you go away, but
It's okay. It's all good.
yeah, my point is, I think Huawei still have some older fan, right? I think what matters, I think also guys in outside of China, if there's a new Chinese car in your country, just watch if this car first roll out and there's certain people buying it. For the next generation, how many people are buying it? Look for the customer loyalty. It tells you. A lot of people like buy the car for the very first time and then they have bad experience, they just stopped. So but if there's a car and people are still buying a second NIO or buying a second Li Auto, that tells you a lot about that story. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think we'll probably go to just our comments from our viewers, if that's okay.
Yep. Let's go into questions.
I know, Ting, I want to ask one from Mike HT Lee. If you see that one there at 7:33 a.m., bring it up. It says, that's my time, sorry. It says, will Li Auto ever be using the battery swap from NIO? I don't know if you can actually give us any insight into that, but if you can't, can you just give insight into the whole battery swap alliance that NIO is creating?
I don't know about the NIO alliance. I think you guys know more about that than I do already. I'm out of the game for so long. But as for Li Auto, I cannot tell you about the future plan because honestly, I don't know. But like I said, remember, like I said, Li Auto has a different approach other than NIO. So I don't know. Like power swap, personally, I think it's not happening because different approach, right? So power swap is good, but Li Auto's 5C, I watched the 5C charging. Guys, for you who never experienced that, I tell you, like they say 12 minutes, 500 kilometers. That's very conservative. I think TiNG watched that, right? From 20 to like 80%.
No, from
Now
5%.
lower than
5% to 80%, 11 minutes.
Yeah, that's more like a regular speed.
I didn't finish shooting anything yet. It's all done. And Mark was like, yeah, I'm done shooting. I said, shit, but it's already 80. So what should I do? I need to drive
it doesn't matter.
it.
I'm no longer with Li Auto. I'm no longer pushing your video no more. Yeah, but the point is, if you have enough 5C charging infrastructure, I think it's
just infrastructure coverage. If you have, it's two different approach. I can see that. Yeah,
different approach.
Different
and you gotta remember, like if there's a lineup, power swap also has a lineup, and 5C will have a lineup as well. So it's different approach, same result, I think. Yeah. And also by not using the power swap platform, you will have more freedom of the car in terms of size. You know, like my ET5 Touring is so wide. It's almost as wide as my L9 for a small car like that. Yeah.
See, I got it communicated to Thailand, so a lot of Thai fans, they would like to buy a L9. Yeah, so do it right hand drive and ship it over to
wait.
And
yeah, but I hope they can go to Thailand or so many other markets as well. Yeah, it's guys like I drove the L9 together with my dad for more than 40,000 kilometers already. It rides like a dream. I have to be honest. It's perfect and
it's really comfortable.
It's really comfortable. But if you're looking for driving pleasure, buy ET5. Yeah, it's just so easy to drive. It's just so easy to drive, but it's a big SUV. You have to remember that. Yeah.
And for those that commented that Tim is still out with Li Auto, he's in a long vacation. He just visited Thailand recently. I brought him for some nice meal there. I mean,
yeah.
And he's still on vacation. I envy him. So welcome again anytime, Tim.
Thank you
Do
so
let,
much. I love Thailand. I love Thailand.
do let me know when you come around, man.
The food, the people, and I told you, like I like to walk around in Thailand because everything, it's so interesting, so nice.
So hot.
Not even like Beijing is hot. I
Yeah, that's
already
true.
came back to Beijing. Beijing is hot. I
Humid,
think
humid,
Thailand is
rainy and humid. Over here is like rainy and humid.
yeah,
Apart from that, it's all good. Yeah.
it's very good. I love Thailand. Thailand is my place. Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
There's one last question. I think that's the last one, and then we end it up. I think we see only like comment most of the time. In your opinion about ET9 and the tech inside, you touch base on some of the phrase that some of the tech that NIO announced. You have seen it even way before, maybe in with Li Auto, or,
Mm.
like
Mm.
like you mentioned, Li Xiang will only launch something when he's ready.
Mm.
What do you think about the ET9 and the tech inside? How's
Mm.
far with the
Actually, I cannot tell you anything because I'm still on the
understood?
agreement. But I can tell you this. Let me say it again. We're just being very conservative. You can tell Li Auto is being very conservative. We don't show you anything that is pre mass production. You know what I'm saying, right?
Hmm.
So guys, if you know Li Xiang himself, and you know the corporate culture at Li Auto, you will understand it's more down to earth actually, and he's very strict and he's very, how do I say, he's very rational. Like we don't show you stuff, and we let you wait for a year or two to buy it. There's used to be a saying that launching a product is like fighting a combat, right? You can't have your Air Force bomb the ground, all right, at this time, and then 2 months later, your land army walk in. No way, you lost everything already. So everything, it's in a perfect order. So for that reason, so a Li Auto will always have everything ready, like right. Then we show you. We don't show everything prior to that. But I can say this: Li Auto and also NIO, because people are doing in-house development. Dude, you know what that means? That means for a BMW, Mercedes, or an Audi, you think they develop stuff? No, they don't. They outsource to supplier to do it. I tell you this, in Mercedes or BMW or Audi, there's different modules, right? So this company tuned that part, this company tuned this part, this company tuned ECU, and everything is separate, nothing connected. And the people at Mercedes has no power to alter or to change or to fix anything at all. They have to have their original source to help them out. Okay. But for NIO and for Li Auto, let's just say Li Auto, everything is self-developed in-house. So you have all the signals, right? You have all the signals like the right height or the wheel acceleration or the temperature signal or everything, right? You have everything, and you put it in that one box, which we'll call XCU, which is like the ECU, is the central brain. So it's like so many ingredients making one dish, or you can making unlimited dishes as long as you want. So I'm not so surprised to see anything like the ET9 tech or what I saw at Li Auto, because when you know that we're doing in-house development, we have a lot of toys we can play. But none of the thing at Li Auto is to show you, like it's too fancy, everything is very practical. So does with the NIO, right? So I think first of all, it's gonna blow your mind, the ET9 for sure. And I think ET9 and also Li Auto's car will lead, like those who does the self developing will lead the new tech. That's for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thank you for that.
Let's hope
Thank
so.
you.
Yeah. All right. I think we are really, really way.
We're over. We're over.
Yeah.
But it's been a good chat.
It's been good chat.
It was great.
A lot of info. Though I'm not gonna say like too many of secret because we cannot slip out so many secret. We are all under at least teams under the NDA and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
only some good stuff, some of the good stuff, yeah, guys.
Yeah.
We really appreciate having you on, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, it's an awesome opportunity for me because I love both brand. Yeah, I love both brand. Even though I complain about NIO service, it's because I want them to improve, right? So you and we can all have a better experience because I'm not selling my NIO for sure, and I'm not selling my. I wanted to buy a Mega actually, so I want to both work out. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
And thanks
man.
again for all your help when you were with Li Auto and helping us. That was awesome.
Really do appreciate it.
And thanks to all the viewers for watching and joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks for all the viewers who joined our show today. We try to maybe invite some. Maybe it should be the next time Jiran and you at the same podcast. You work together.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, he was my boss and NIO before.
Oh, yeah.
The NIO before.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wow.
All right. So I think
All right.
we're about time. Yeah, Eric, Mr. P.
Time for me to go start my day.
Oh yeah. You're already there. Normally you would say, "Oh, time for me to
All right,
sleep."
time for
But now
bed. Not today. I'm awake
Yeah.
now.
Now you can say
You see this
something.
energy?
How
I got the
for
energy.
us, for Mr. P and Tim. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Tim, for joining our podcast today. We
No
wish you
worries.
maybe next time we got something to discuss, some cool stuff. Then we will invite you definitely.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
And
Yeah.
thanks a
Thank
lot,
you,
guys,
Tim.
for joining. And we'll see you all in the next episode.
All right.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Peace out.
Peace out. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim.
No worries. Thanks.